All right, welcome back to Terminal Garage. So today, this is the day we're going to be carrying on with the Subaru Sambar Rescue and get this thing up and running because I have something in this box that was needed. There's a lot of parts on here. I've got my son's Toyota. We've been working on that. I've got the Ford Escape over here that's got a blown head gasket. I got the head off. This has been taking a bit of my time. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know I've been I did another track day. But today, I've got the carburetor in this box, and we're going to swap this carburetor out and see if we can get this thing actually running. So let's open up this box and see what I got here. So as you know, I've been struggling with the carburetor that's in this thing to get it to work properly, and I just, quite honestly, I gave up. I don't know that carburetor. As you know, I put 3 carburetors into one to try to make it work, and it might be something that's not repairable, but maybe I'll dig into that another time. But I found a guy in Colorado that had a carburetor next to carburetor off of a forum, and we agreed to a price, and this thing just arrived today. So this is the part that, as you guys know, I've been waiting for to get this thing working. Boy, you packaged this thing quite nicely. Appreciate that. There you go. Got sells a carburetor. I think it's a little different than mine. It's got 3 vacuum things on here. Mine has got, I think, 2, so it's easy to just put a rubber cap on there. But yeah, let's get that carburetor swapped out, bolt this sucker in there, and I'm excited to see if this thing works. All right, so I've got that carburetor bolted in. I don't have any vacuum lines hooked up, so I fully expect it to run quite rough, but I just want to see that it's going to work and not flood or do whatever the hell it was doing. So I'll hook up the fuel pump again, and let's see if this thing runs. Okay, let's see what happens. Of course, this float bowl is probably dry, so. Ha ha ha. All right. Same story. Can you believe this? I think what it is, and I tested this, is when the fuel comes into the carburetor, as it fills up, there's still fuel pumping in. So the excess fuel pumps back to tank. I think that return line is actually plugged. Geez, a lot of gas came out of there. I think that return line is plugged up, and I'm not allowing, the fuel pump is overpowering the carb. If that's the case, that sucks. That means I just spent a whole ton of money on a carburetor I didn't need to. But I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to stop this and see if I can figure something out. I pulled the new used carburetor off, and I thought, you know what, there's got to be something funky going on. And wouldn't you know it, the needle valve is stuck open. It's jammed in there. Maybe this carburetor sat for a while, but can you believe it? That is why. There we go. It just came out now. Yeah, so it was not going there. Now it's going all the way down. Yeah, that's what the problem was. So the seal here, the little O-ring gasket, is no good anymore. But the one on my other carburetor is still brand new. I mean, I've only put it together for, it's never really been warmed up or anything. So I will use it on here. So I'm gonna put this back together, and oh my God, fingers crossed it works. All right, the good gasket out of the old carburetor is back in the used, hopefully good carburetor, and yeah, that needle valve is freed up. So I'm gonna throw this back in, and fingers crossed this time it'll work. Okay, the carb is back in. Uh, Fuel pump is plugged back in. So let's give this a go, and fingers crossed it does its job. Oh, wait a minute. Might be too soon. Going pretty black. Okay, I think that is working. It seems to be very rich, but it's not puking gas out like it was before. So I think we've got a winner. That float's working. So there's a lot of vacuum lines that I need to hook up. Plus I don't have any coolant in this thing, and I don't want that head to get too warm because it's not bad, but it's about as warm as I want to get without coolant in it. So I'm going to hook up all these vacuum lines, coolant lines on the cold start. This little coolant line here that goes to the carburetor, and yeah, see if we can get this thing filled with coolant and see if she'll run. All right, so I got some of the, looks like most of the vacuum lines hooked up, and the black smoke that was coming out is not anymore. I gotta adjust the idle, got coolant in it, just seeing if I'm getting some warm air coming out here yet. No, no warm air yet. Temperature gauge might be creeping up a bit. I might have to go and make sure this thing's got some flow here. Hold on. There we go. We got water starting to flow. That's a great sign. And yeah, starting to get a little bit of warm, it looks like. Sweet. So this little pipe here that's got this little plug on the end, this is where you basically bleed your system. Hold it up like this, and I only got one hand so I won't do it on camera, but you just basically lift this up and get all the air out of the system. Okay, so there you go. The truck is definitely running. I've got heat coming out of it. Everything is good. The last thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to run it much longer here. I got to put some oil in the transmission. So I'm going to shut that off right now. Yeah, I did drain a little bit more oil out of it. It was pretty much separated, as you remember, or if you remember, if you went back to my video, the transmission came out like a milkshake. Of course, it's been sitting for a couple of months now, and it has settled. So I did drain before I started it, drain the last bit of oil out. So now I've got some oil, new transmission oil that I've got to pump into it. So I think I'll do that now, and then this thing will be pretty much done. Just threw her into gear after I filled the transmission with oil, and it shifts through all the gears. So let's just slip her into neutral here. There we go. All the lights are working. So there you go. The last thing I gotta do is just hook up the air box here, put a couple of covers on the carburetor. I gotta bleed the brakes, the rear brakes. I have to do that still. Probably try the front ones as well. But and then I'm gonna pull it out into the driveway and give this thing a really good clean. All right, so that's going to do it with this video. It's just a quick one. I wanted to get a video out to you guys because I'm going to be heading out of town in a couple of days here. I'm going to Chicago, so I want to get this video out to you. I said the next video on the Sambar would be it running, and that carburetor arrived here today, and yes, got it running. Transmission's got oil, goes in through all the gears. The last couple things I've still got to do is bleed the rear brakes, fill the front differential with oil. I think there's one nut I've got to, or bolt I got to tighten up on the front drive shaft, and then yeah, just button up the last. Oh, the spare tire rack has got to go on. Throw the tailgate on, and then just give this thing a serious clean. I got the outside of it is really dirty. I'll get some degreaser on it and everything, and this thing should hopefully clean up pretty nice. So the next video I will be doing that and actually taking it for a little drive down the road. So I'm really looking forward to that. This has been a very long project, and it's coming to an end, and I'm really happy this thing is it's alive. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what you think, and yeah, think about subscribing. I'm over that 1,000 mark and still going. So really appreciate all you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and have yourself a great day.